19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. It is October 22nd, 2015, 69 degrees here at the studios of The Source, WOCA, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall just outside the WOCA commissary, where you too can get a bite to eat. Looks like a nice forecast today. 20% chance of rain. There's a mix of clouds and sun. Otherwise, slight chance of rain, and I guess that's 20%. High temperatures in the low to mid-80s, and the rest of the week and the weekend looks pretty good. 10% chance for Friday and Saturday, and a 20% chance for Sunday. Got a good show planned for this morning. At 7:35, we'll kind of touch on some of the news and offer news and commentary. Once again, to borrow or steal, maybe is more appropriate, from the old Paul Harvey line, news and commentary. It seems like an appropriate thing to do at 7:35 in the morning, doesn't it? And we'll try to throw into the mix a little bit of pop culture stuff as well. 8:35, that's when we turn off our commentary. We turn off any attempt to be silly and entertaining, and we simply read the news. If the news happens to be entertaining, then it does. Otherwise, it's just us reading the news. We shorten it, as you probably know, and it gives you a chance to catch up on the news in those 25 minutes without spending all day trying to do that. We usually get between 20 and 25 stories. Today is Thursday, and Hank Whittier will be here as always on Thursdays. He brings veterans news. Hank is the executive director at Vets Helping Vets, for those who don't know. And if you are a vet and you could use the help, or you would like to offer your assistance to other vets, this is a great organization. Some of the best guys I've ever met in my life. 9:35 this morning, Doug Jackson is coming on the air with us. He's the president of Charity Vision International, which provides doctors in third world countries the skills they need to conquer curable blindness. We'll find out what that exactly means, and I'm sure it's great work. The works of Charity Vision International. October is World Blindness Awareness Month, so looking forward to having Doug Jackson on the air with us. 10:05, Dr. Steve Stahl is an award-winning, world-renowned psychiatrist. He is a PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder expert. He's written a book called Shell Shock. It is a novel, but he lends his expertise to the subject of PTSD. He wants to talk to us about the truth about post-traumatic stress disorder. His book, by the way, is getting rave reviews. A lot of folks saying he's probably going to be the next name to look at as far as guys who write books that become movies. So I'm looking forward to that. Hope he wants that. A lot of times the authors that we speak to are not that gung-ho about having their books turned into movies, so we'll see how he feels about that. Scott Sufji and Mary Van Dyke will be on at 10:35. Scott is the president of the Hematology Oncology Pharmacy Association, and Mary Van Dyke is a chemotherapy-induced patient. Chemotherapy-induced... Okay, I'm confused what this is. But anyway, she's a patient. They're going to talk to us about the results of the national survey that reveals that patients are suffering needlessly from chemotherapy. Chemotherapy-induced nausea and vomiting. Okay, that doesn't sound good, does it? Sorry, it's breakfast. Tom Kreitler at 10:50. Tom is the co-host of The Money Pit. I'm sure you know the Money Pit radio program. It once aired on WOCA. I'm not sure if we still have it on the weekends or not. I think once we went to the sports format, that show went away, but it's still on the air out there somewhere. He is going to be on the air here at 10:50. He's going to give us some tips on home inspections and home improvement and what you might need to do this winter. Of course, here in Florida, there's not a whole lot to do. It doesn't get that cold after all. And then 11:05, Newmail Medical Center. You probably have heard the ads down in the villages. They have a couple of doctors down there that come on once a month or so to talk about overall health and specifically sexual dysfunction health. They have something called bioidentical hormone treatment, which replaces the hormones if you are needing them replaced. Justin Pulliam and Dr. Christopher Asandra are typically the guests that we have during that time frame. So I'm not sure which one will be on the air with us, but it'll be 11:05. Fun with Joe today. Halloween is coming up. I don't think we bob for apples anymore on Halloween. I believe that has gone away because we've become so germ conscientious, so we don't put our faces in water and share our germs with other people also putting their faces in water to bob for apples. So on Fun with Joe, we'll be bobbing for bobs. Silly title, huh? It's a game basically where every answer is the name of a person named Bob or Robert or Rob or something of that sort. So bobbing for bobs is the name of the game on Fun with Joe. And then when Galen Unold is on with us, I wanted to ask him about Halloween decorations. Does he have anybody in his neighborhood, or does he think that there's any decorations that go too far? And so that's the topic: Halloween decorations that go too far. Good morning, Robin.
I like it. Good morning, Larry.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Excellent.
So we'll do that, and then a couple of other things I wanted to make sure we mentioned. Today is your daughter's birthday. So
happy birthday, Shannon.
So it's just as important to the parents.
It is.
There are three people involved with every birthday.
Yes.
The mom, the dad, and the child, right?
Exactly.
No matter how old you get, it's those three people, right? So
that's right. And she loves her birthday, so looks forward to it, as does TJ.
So congratulations. How many years ago? 30?
Yep. She's 36.
36 years ago, you were a mom for the second time.
Yep.
Wow.
36. And her and TJ are best friends.
And you can remember it like yesterday, right?
Oh, yeah. No problems with that. I love my children.
Let's see, what else do we have in the news this morning? Let's see, Marty Ingalls died. Do you remember Marty Ingalls?
Oh, I do.
79 years old. He was
He's
married
a funny guy.
to Shirley Jones.
Yeah.
Shirley Jones was what, the mom in the Partridge Family?
Yes.
Now, what do we know him from? Let me think. Marty Ingalls, the raspy-voiced comedian, actor, and talent who was married to singer and actress Shirley Jones for nearly 40 years.
Isn't that something?
Died yesterday in L.A. He was 79.
Now, he's a funny guy.
He died in the Tarzana neighborhood following complications from a stroke, according to a statement. What do we know him from, though, besides being married?
Oh, he's on TV. He always had that wild, curly black hair.
Okay, he appeared in some movies, a number of TV shows, including The Dick Van Dyke Show, The Phyllis Diller Show, and Bewitched. He co-starred with John Aston in 62 and 63 in a TV show called I'm Dickens, He's Fenster.
Yes.
Goodness, I don't know if I remember.
Something. We were in the 60s.
Ingalls did voice work for hundreds of cartoons, commercials, and video games. He voiced Pac-Man in the 1982 animated series.
That's pretty cool.
He ran a talent agency that booked movie stars like John Wayne and Cary Grant for TV commercials. He met Shirley Jones in 74, who was doing the Partridge Family at that time. Is that right? Is that right?
Yep.
She met him they met each other at a party at Michael Landon's home. For those who remember Michael Landon, Little Joe from.
Oh yeah, Bonanza.
Bonanza, that was.
And
it,
he had that angel show too. He was that angel. After Little House on the Prairie.
Oh yeah.
And then he had this angel, Highway to Heaven. Right. Yeah.
Anyway, Marty Ingalls and Shirley Jones married in 1977. Anyway, so 79 years old, Marty Ingalls is gone. The older you get, the more unlikely. The older you get, the less somebody who is. What am I trying to say here? 79 doesn't seem that old to me, but it is old. 79 is old, right?
Yeah.
But I'm getting old. I'm getting old. That's what the problem is.
We're 19 years away.
That's why. That's why it doesn't seem that old.
Yeah, I know. But to my daughter, somebody in their mid-30s, like, wow, you're ancient, Mom.
Right. Yeah, we were thinking about this yesterday.
Yeah, very much so.
All right. So everything all right in your neck of the woods?
Yes, everything's great.
What was the guy? Can we talk about it on the air or no?
Oh, yeah. First he said he moved down from Illinois and he wanted to walk, wanted to know what the mall was open. And I told him 8 o'clock. And then he said he's down here really for a conference, that he does some kind of seminar. So I asked him, the questions, and then I told him he'd have to call and talk to Tisha Moeller, and she can set him up with everything. And then he asked me questions again. I said, you have to call Tish. Yep. I mean, everybody has their own field of expertise here. So I hope he calls her later.
We're a very open show. You know that? You just walk in, talk to us.
Exactly. He wanted to come in and sit on the air with us.
He wanted to be on the air with us?
Yeah.
Why?
And just chat about things.
Can I be on the radio with you?
Right, exactly.
Wouldn't be the first time we had that.
No. Just come on in.
So what do you remember of the weird people? No, I'm not saying he was weird.
No, he's a very nice
I'm
fellow.
saying, but what do you? I mean, the weird
Tom.
circumstances that we had a lady come in. You weren't here. Nobody was here. I was, and it wasn't even here. It was at the old station.
Yes.
And well, a lady came to the window with a cake.
Yes.
A green cake. And it was for all of us.
Yeah, it was in the dark she came.
She did show up in the dark, and she wanted to come on the radio with me.
Yes.
And I said, well...
She liked you.
I can't do that right now. So she said, well, I brought you the cake anyway. And I thought for a second the cake was going to go somewhere in my face or something. I mean, she was really nice, but we brought the cake in. How much of the cake got eaten?
Nothing. Nobody, none of us touched it at all. We just left it there for a couple days, and it.
Hopefully, that was long ago enough, ma'am, that you are over whatever it was.
Yeah. Hopefully.
We'll be right back. We've got to take a break, and then on the other side, news and commentary, and it runs the gamut. It's serious and it's not so serious. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. An Albuquerque, New Mexico police officer shot several times during a traffic stop last night. A 34-year-old suspect arrested early this morning. No word on the officer's condition. Secretary of State John Kerry in Berlin this morning, meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Kerry saying there needs to be an end to attacks between Israelis and Palestinians.
We have to stop incitement. We have to stop the violence.
Netanyahu told Kerry to tell Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to stop spreading lies about Israel. Well, voters across the country spent the summer selecting their choice for a new Lay's potato chip flavor. The candidates included gyro, Reuben, truffle fries, and the winning idea from Haley Green of Noblesville, Indiana.
Tastes like biscuits and gravy.
That's your vision right there.
That's the winner in Lay's Do Us a Flavor contest, biscuits and gravy. Haley wins $1 million for her idea.
Fox Radio's Chris Foster. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon? Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Over the past 10 years, most fire stations phased out the poles and replaced them with either stairs or the latest weapon in firefighting, the fireman's slide. Simply locking eyes with somebody makes them seem more attractive than someone who isn't looking your way. You're going to love this new type of therapy. It's bibliotherapy. Basically, a therapist recommends books to help you work through whatever issues you may have.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is the place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Who doesn't love heading out on the boat with a family, hitting the ATV trails with friends, or blazing new stretches of highway with riding buddies? Your toys are your ticket to outdoor fun. At the McDonald Allstate Agency, we get to know you and help make sure you have all the right coverages. Plus, when you bundle your coverage for your car and your home with your boat, motorcycle, RV, or more, you can save up to 30%. So call the McDonald Allstate Agency today at 622-2333 or stop by one of our 2 Ocala locations at Calla Hills or the Jasmine Square Plaza.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It is here at the studio. Let me see. 69 degrees. 69 degrees.
It feels good out there.
Does it really?
It does.
It's getting close to Halloween. We're starting to feel that. And then once Halloween is done, then you start to think about Christmas, right? Even though it's too early, I know, but you start thinking about it, right?
No, I'm thinking about it right now. I've got something on layaway for my daughter, and you know, all the Christmas decorations are out next to the Halloween decorations, and it's on my mind right now. I'm not waiting.
We've got some radio ads that are Christmas themed in the works as well.
Cool.
By the way, I learned 4 things from a fisherman that I was watching some videos from, and I thought this was appropriate to almost everything you do in life. Are you ready for the 4 things?
Yes.
I didn't even plan on doing this. I just for some reason you reminded me of it with the Christmas talk.
Okay.
The 4 things you learn from a fisherman is, number 1, you have to know what you're fishing for. You just have to know, I guess, which fish you're looking to catch, right?
Yes.
Number 2, you have to know which bait to use for that particular kind of fish.
Right.
Number 3, you need to know where those fish are. Right?
That's right.
And number 4, you have to have more than one line. You can't just have one line.
Yeah.
And I thought about that. I thought, gosh, wow, that is true for fish. Well, the whole idea was to point out that it wasn't me really coming to this revelation that it's about more than fish. But it's about so many things. Let's say you're looking for a job, right? Well, you need to know what job you want, right? That's number 1.
Right.
So, and number 2, to use the fish analogy, you need to know what the bait is. You know, what should your resume say?
Exactly.
You know, if you don't have any experience or any education, let's say you want to be a brain surgeon, well, then brain surgery is not the fish you're trying to catch.
Right, exactly.
You know? Number 3, you need to know where to go. Obviously, if you want to be a radio announcer, you go to radio stations. If you want to be a doctor, you go to hospitals. You know, if as long as you have the bait, in other words, you're prepared.
Right.
And then number 4, don't just go to one. Don't just have one line in the water. Go to several different places. I was thinking about that, you know, and it's true for these advertisers too. I was thinking about this as well. Number 1, if you're selling, let's say, you know, drones. Let's say you're a drone retailer. Which that's next. Drones Are Us or something like that, right?
I've seen drones at Barnes and Noble a couple of years ago. They started to sell them there, so. You know, but they you know.
Were they really drones? Okay. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so that's your specialty drones. You say, well, okay. Well, who do you want to sell them to? So that's what fish do you want, right? I guess, I don't know who that would be. I guess it would be everybody. Probably young people mostly, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Young people. Number 2, where would they be? I guess that would be the lake for the fish. And where would these people be? Well, they'd be in malls, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
You would definitely want to be in malls, right? And and then what was the third one? What is the bait?
Yes.
So the bait would be maybe my drone has a camera on it. My drone can go, you know, a mile away, or my drone can be controlled by thought. That'd be cool. And then number 4, have more than one place that you're advertising it on. So
exactly.
So you put an ad on the radio, put an ad in the newspaper, put an ad in the magazines. I don't know. I was just thinking about how that applies to everything.
I love that. That is just so, it's very deep. It really hit me.
Do you know who I've changing subjects, do you know who I've become a fan of?
No.
Penn and Teller.
Oh, okay.
I've kind of always been a fan of them, but I've been watching this thing that they do called Fool Penn and Teller.
Okay.
Or something like that. And these magicians go on that show and they try to, and I like these guys. So I was watching this documentary about them last night on YouTube. And they're kind of weird, first of all. And I saw one where Teller spoke.
Really?
Yeah, the little guy.
Yeah.
I saw one where he spoke, and he's a well-spoken guy. He used to be a teacher of Latin. He taught Latin in schools.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow.
So so I was going to tell you this. So they got together with Shaquille O'Neal, with Shaq, and you know the big guy Penn.
Yes.
He towers over Teller, but Shaquille towers over Penn.
Oh gosh.
So it was kind of fun to see Penn, the little guy. So anyway, Shaquille, and maybe I stumbled on this because I was watching this other thing with Shaquille the other night. But anyway, so Shaquille O'Neal is challenging them to a magic duel.
Oh.
And of course Shaquille admits, I don't have any magic talents at all, any magic skills at all. So he recruits Teller to be with him. So it's Shaq and Teller versus Penn.
Okay.
And they do this magic trick. You know where you put the person in the box, and then you cut the box into pieces, and then you put the pieces in different places on the stage, and there's a face in one, and there's a hand in one, and there's a leg in one.
Yes.
And you say, how is that possible?
Yeah, that's my question.
How are those people fitting in those boxes, first of all, and where did they come from? Well, the way they do the trick, this is so crazy.
Oh, they showed you.
They not only showed the people watching the video, but they showed the whole audience in Las Vegas.
Oh.
And it was just a riot. They were laughing so hard because you could see the little guy Teller, scooting under the stage, because that's how they do it. They scoot back and forth under the stage and pop their face up and pop their hands up and pop their legs up and.
Oh my gosh.
But the audience was just having a blast watching this whole thing with Shaquille O'Neal. And it wasn't about fooling the audience. It was about demonstrating the finesse or the choreography involved with pulling off a trick. And so the audience was just, I thought, gosh, I've never been to Vegas. One of these days, I think I'd like to see what that's like.
Yeah, it should be fun.
And then I can't remember what the trick Penn did, but the prize was if the audience thought that Penn was the winner, then he would get to use Shaquille's private jet for a day. So I don't know if that was real or not. I have no idea if that was real, but that was fun.
That must have been fun. That must have been so cool. I love when people are celebrities, but they get rid of that celebrity status, and it's just like you're a friend. They're on the same level as you, and they're sharing something of themselves. I love that.
All right, I said we would do news and commentary. I'm sorry I kind of occupied my time with superficial stuff. There was a swimmer, Robin, in Blue Springs, killed by an alligator. This is a crazy story.
I heard your news this morning. That was so sad.
How old was he? 62 years old. James Oakhurst. He died yesterday. Today's Thursday, so he died yesterday.
Gosh.
Blue Springs, we went there, right?
Yes, we did.
Blue Springs State Park, yeah. So there was a big alligator there in the water, obviously in the water, and it killed him. And the Florida Freshwater Fish Commission, whatever they call it, they euthanized a 12.5-foot gator they believe is the one who killed Oakhurst.
Gosh,
all the times, every time I used to go floating down the Rainbow River at least once a year, and I'm talking about in the 70s, 70s and 80s, and somewhere around there I probably stopped going a whole lot, but I used to do it every year at least one time. And you and I have gone down the river. I went down the river many times, well, a few times with my son. So my son was born in '86, which means I've gone at least since then.
Yeah.
I think I remember going when he was a teenager, so that would have been
he brought his friends along, and that was fun.
But anyway, anytime I would invite people to go tubing with us, I would always say, they would always say, well, not always, but once in a while you'd have somebody who would say, gosh, I don't trust those alligators. And I would always say, oh, they don't hurt you. Mm-hmm. You do see them on the side of the river, you know, almost inevitably you'll see at least one, almost every time. But, you know, they don't hurt you. One time there was a small alligator, still big enough to hurt us, but there was a small alligator that swam very close to my son when we were tubing, and of course there was nothing I could do. The alligator's head was maybe 7 or 8 inches, I guess. Yeah. Which made it big enough to hurt.
Oh, yeah, those teeth.
But now you see a story like this, and you say, wow, it's possible. There was a time when I was in the Rainbow River, and for those of you who know the Rainbow River, you know that there's the KP Hole, and then just upstream a little bit from the KP Hole, there's a campground. And I was with my nephew, Jeffrey. And I said to Jeffrey, let's see if we can swim upstream to the campground. So we tried, and of course the downstream current made it impossible to swim upstream. So we swam across the river, which is no big deal. It's a narrow river. We swam across the river, and we started to swim with our feet touching the bottom so we could kind of push ourselves. So we're swimming, walking kind of. Yeah. And it was so soft and mushy, we weren't getting any traction. We weren't making any progress. And right ahead of us, just in front of us, there was this marshy area just covered with like overgrowth or whatever, and we were going to walk right through it, you know, like it was no big deal, and just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and gosh, we're not making any progress at all. So I said to him, forget it, we're not going to do it, let's just head back to the KP Hole, which wasn't that far away. All we had to do was float back down, we would have been there. Well, when we got to the middle of the river, the center point, it was actually shallower in the middle, so we could stand in the middle of the river. Yeah. And so we could literally walk up the river until we got to the campground, and then, of course, we would swim back down, which is what we did. The point I'm getting at here is, as we were walking past, this isn't news and commentary at all. I don't know what I'm doing with this morning. But anyway, as we were walking past the marshy area, the area we were trying to walk through, there was, in that marshy area, a big alligator. Oh my God. Huge alligator. Wow. My conclusion, I believe in God.
Yes. For sure.
I believe in God. I'm very grateful that God is okay with me in spite of everything I've ever done or thought, or, you know, I'm not perfect, even close. But I thought, oh wow, God kept us from that alligator, because easily we could have walked right into it, and that would have been bad news for us. Yes. Could have been so bad. And so I always think, you know, there's so many things like that. You know, when you die, and you always imagine, what would you say to God, you know? I will say to God, thank you for this one, thank you for that one, thank you for this one. You know how many things that I realize I didn't have to deal with because you helped me out of it? That's right. So, of course, he'll say, of course I realize that. What do you think I am? I think you're God, sir.
He never sleeps. He's always here.
All right, let's push a button and do the weather. And then on the other side, I promise, news and commentary. We'll take a break.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, partly sunny skies, breezy and warm with a shower in spots. The high 82 to 86. Partly cloudy tonight. There may be a shower along the coast. Low 63 and a few inland spots, but closer to 73 at the coast. Tomorrow, times of sun and clouds and breezy with a stray shower along the coast, high 82 to 86. For Saturday, sunshine, some clouds and a passing shower with a gusty wind, high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy. never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
What are the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking? Will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with Francois and Julian Zenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
All right, 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's look at some of the things in the news. Yesterday, pharmaceutical company Valiant was called the Enron of the pharmacy world, Robin. A report came out that accused Valiant of accounting fraud. It said that Valiant owns phantom pharmacies to make its revenue seem better than it is. Valiant denied the report, but most of its shareholders didn't seem to be listening. Its stock plunged hard after the news. Meanwhile, Valiant got a vote of confidence from big-name investor Bill Ackman when he bought 2 million more shares of the company.
Wow.
Wow. So, these people, when you got money, you know what to do with it, don't you?
Exactly.
CIA Director John Brennan, earlier this week, his personal AOL account was hacked, allegedly by teenagers. Yesterday, WikiLeaks said it got its hands on those emails and started releasing them. So far, the leak includes things like a security clearance from Brennan filled out and the social security numbers of some of his contacts. Why do they release these things? Who are these people?
I know.
The alleged high school student hackers say they convinced Verizon, which owns AOL, to hand over enough information to change Brennan's password. The teenagers were apparently frustrated with U.S. foreign policy and wanted to shame the government, and their mission was accomplished.
Well, good for them.
Why? Why are you congratulating them? The hack
well,
is
they
just
did it wrong.
The hack is just one in a string of hacks that have made people question whether the United States has a handle on this whole.
That's what it is.
Tom just came up from downstairs. I saw him outside.
Oh, good.
Coming up from the basement.
Yep, that's what it is. I mean, the government doesn't seem to listen to people, so they feel, okay, we're not going to be that harmful, but we got to get the government to listen somehow. So we're going to break the law, and it'll make the news.
Tom Schmitz and Buddy Martin sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" yesterday.
Yeah. Yep, they did. That was great. That was pretty exciting, by the way. I enjoyed that.
If they're ever going to do a reality show of this radio station, they missed a good opportunity yesterday when Tom and Buddy was singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
That's right. They
missed a good opportunity, Tom.
Yes.
This could have been that could have been a good reality TV moment.
Mm-hmm.
When was this?
Yesterday.
Last night.
You sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." You don't remember?
Oh yeah, I remember. You know how as you come into work, some things you hear on the radio, things you read may aggravate you.
Yeah, what'd you hear?
So I'm sitting in the parking lot, and I'm going through a Facebook post.
Uh-huh.
Now, you two are relatively good intelligence, a lot smarter than me, I'll give you that. I'm from South Georgia.
I don't know about that. I've listened to you.
If I ask you, if I say, Carol read 28 pages of a book on Monday and 103 pages on Tuesday, is 75 pages a reasonable answer for how many more pages Carol read on Tuesday than on Monday?
Robin, do the math.
103 pages on Tuesday,
Right.
28 pages on Monday.
Yeah.
Right.
So you subtract 103 from 28 from 103, you come up with 75.
Okay, all right.
So that would be a reasonable answer, right?
Yeah, that's a reasonable answer.
Well, that's what the kid put. They said, explain your answer. He said, yes, 75 is a reasonable answer because 103 minus 28 equals 75.
Mm-hmm.
He got the question wrong because the Common Core says the reasonable answer should be an estimate of 100 minus 30 equals 70.
Oh my God! Get rid of Common Core. Get rid of that.
Wow.
We don't like Common Core.
I mean,
that is awful.
the kid put 75 as a reasonable answer because
Not
it is
good.
the answer, and he got the question wrong.
That's crazy.
Because it didn't do it to the 10, put everything in tens like Common Core does.
That is crazy.
What are we going to do? We're going to have doctors that, make reasonable dosage amounts and architects that say, well, it's reasonable, these measurements. Hope it works.
Exactly.
What
Crazy.
the hell are we doing?
No, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, we don't want Common Core.
mean,
we need a campaign.
This kid got it wrong for getting it
right.
right.
So is anybody standing in this, standing up for him? Anybody going to the school and saying?
Well, his father went to the school and they
Yeah.
said, under the curriculum we're teaching, his answer was wrong. And so they're sticking by the answer.
Pull him out of that school. Put
And
him somewhere
the
else.
father said he can't homeschool the child because him and his mother both work. He said, so we have to change the education system. What alternate universe? Did Marty McFly bring this back yesterday? Is that what happened? Is that what happened?
I don't know.
Is Biff in charge of math now? Is that what's going on
That's what
here?
it is. We're in the twilight zone.
I mean, can you believe that the kid got a wrong answer on the
I
test?
heard you. Yeah, I heard
for
that
getting
story.
the answer
yeah.
right.
That's crazy.
You have to stand up. That kind of lunacy needs to be. Jeb Bush is for Common Core.
I know.
How about that?
We've talked about this,
Yes.
of course. Yeah.
No, that's not going to fly.
That shouldn't even be, by the way, a presidential issue.
It shouldn't, because the education is done on the state level and the county level.
It should
It's
be
not
done
done on the national level.
Absolutely should be.
I was listening to Ben Carson yesterday, and he had a Glenn Beck on the show that plays after you guys, before us.
Right.
Glenn Beck said, would you do away with the Department of Education? He said, no. Glenn Beck said, what would you do with it? He said, the U.S. Department of Education should be in place to make sure that higher learning institutions around this country aren't spouting anti-American and anti-country messages. That's the only thing the education department on the national level should do, is make sure the universities in our area aren't spouting non-American sentiment.
Yeah.
And I thought, finally, somebody has an actual reason for the Department of Education.
Exactly.
It's a really good point. Really good point.
Because there's no reason for the Department of Education now. And Common Core is another example of why there's no reason for the Department of Education.
Yeah, Common Core.
So remember,
is not
Larry,
good.
103 minus 28 is now an estimate of 70, not 75.
Good morning. You're on the air.
I'll tell that to my bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of these liberal thinkers coming out and saying, if they don't need to have the exact answer, and if that way, if they, they're never going to get wrong answers, and so they'll get more passing grades, and they'll progress on through school, and we raise a country of idiots.
So how many points do you get for a field goal, Tom? One? Is that one? At 1 point? Help me out with sports.
Yes, you get 1 point. No, you get 3 points for a field goal.
3 points for a field goal.
One for an extra point.
Field goal in soccer is 1 point.
No, I'm talking about football. I just want to make a point here. So the game, you could lose the game based on Common Core, even though you got the most points.
Exactly.
Yes, because you could.
Because 6 plus 3 must be equal about 10.
Right, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, hey, the engineer says, rope can hold up a bridge as reasonably as steel cable, so we'll just build all our bridges with rope. And 2 or 3 cars later, the bridge falls down. Oh, now we got to build a new bridge.
Well, and the calculations that determine whether or not it'll sway in the wind, which we learned years and years ago. That's the problem with the suspension bridges. You have to have them exact.
Right.
The math has to be exact.
Well, let me ask.
If it's sort of kind of close, it'll sway a little bit.
You just need to be close now.
Let me ask you this.
What they say about close Close is only good in horseshoes, hand grenades, and atom bombs.
Atom bombs, you don't really have to be that close. But let me ask you this: let's say we'll be raising a country of idiots. Let's say you're at McDonald's running a register, and the bill's $1.03, and you just say, "Well, it's around 70 cents." How quick before you're fired because your drawer comes up short or over?
Right. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Exactly. It's true.
All right, let's look at some of these other things. All right. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that.
That is great,
Two Toms.
I'm taking that
Tom and Tom.
the rest of the day with me.
Sorry, I hijacked your show there for a minute.
That's all right. That's all right.
No, that's a good point. I'm
it's
sharing
around
that.
70.
It's around 70.
I'm finding that. And
I'm going to
sharing.
McDonald's today. I'm going to pay $1 if it says $1.10. That's close enough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Common Core.
If it's $1.10,
Well, yeah.
that's Common Core. That's in tens. If it's $1.08,
that's how it works.
That's close enough.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Because they get everything down to 10.
Why is the 10 the cutoff number?
Because tens are easy. Tens are your easiest multiplication. I don't know. I don't understand Common Core, Larry. I was educated in real math, not fake math.
Exactly.
Oh.
All right. All right. We will move forward. We'll be right back. This is WOCA.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. Hillary Clinton in the hot seat again before the House Select Committee on Benghazi to answer questions about her time as Secretary of State.
One that Trey Gowdy says one area he wants to focus in on, the emails from Sidney Blumenthal, one of Hillary Clinton's outside advisors. Remember, the White House had blocked him from actually working at the State Department, but in the emails we've seen the drip, drip, drip. There have been a whole bunch from Sidney Blumenthal providing sensitive information to Hillary Clinton.
Fox's Ed Henry, a man is behind bars for the road rage killing of a 4-year-old girl in New Mexico.
The Albuquerque Police Department detectives took into custody Tony Torres, age 32, who confessed to the murder.
Albuquerque Police Chief Gordon Eden says an anonymous tip helped, and a masked man in seriously wounding 2 students before being shot by police there. Fox News, we report, you decide.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I'm 19 years old, and this is how I live united. I've always been kind of a computer geek, and I found a way to use those skills to help the homeless in my community. For people facing hard times, computer skills and a basic resume are so important. It may seem like a small thing, but it makes a huge difference in people's lives. So with United Way, I created a program where I work with the homeless. Together, we go through their whole job history, write a resume, and then save it on their very own USB drive. We provide workbooks and training certificates. I even budgeted for cupcakes so we can celebrate as a class when one of our people gets a job. That's huge. When somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." That's what Living United feels like to me. My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.